Welcome Alabama fans to another edition of Bama Insider on the Road. Last week's trip brought us to the Lone Star State, where we got to see two of Alabama's top 2023 targets in action. Those prospects were Jalen, Hale, and Renaud, whose teams faced off against each other on Friday night. Starting with Renaud, he was sensational in his team's loss last week. Renaud, who sported Alabama gloves in this game, regularly won one-on-one matchups. He was absolutely disruptive off the edge, changing up his playing style seemingly every play. Renaud could go from overpowering opposing offensive linemen, to chopping their arms, to simply beating them with his quickness off the snap. The 6'3.5", 245-pounder mixed it up throughout the entire night. Where he really impressed us was with his strength. When engaged in a block, Renaud pushed forward with his arms and turned his legs to move opposing tackles back at will. He also has great bend and twitch when tackling ball carriers to go along with that strength. From an intangible standpoint, Renaud had standout moments. He vocally led his team in pregame stretching to get them ready for the game. Also, despite being down 62 points at one time, Renaud's intensity never stopped. His constant pursuit of the ball and his high motor were highlights of the game. Renaud will be a 5-tech defensive end at the next level and has a very high ceiling. He'll choose between Alabama and Oklahoma on September 19th. Switching over to Hale, the number 10 wide receiver on the On3 consensus did not have to do much work against Tyler Legacy. He finished with 2 receptions for 46 yards, including this touchdown grab in the second quarter. From what we saw in warm-ups, however, Hale showcases a nice burst out of his starting position that gets his route off to a quick start. He couples that with long strides when tasked with running downfield, making him a difficult receiver to match step for step. He's not necessarily the most smooth route runner in this class, but shows off decent footwork when breaking on his routes. Hale also appears to be taller than the 6'1.5" that's listed on his profile. He's the type of receiver that will give quarterbacks a large target window as he snatches passes low or can high point the football. We didn't see as much of Hale as we would have liked to, but our main takeaway is that the physical tools are there for him to be a dynamic wideout at the next level. Hale, who is down to a top 4 of Alabama, Georgia, Texas, and Texas A&M, will announce his decision on September 21st. Thank you all for once again tuning in to this edition of Bama Insider on the Road. Be sure to go to BamaInsider.com and take advantage of our $1 for a year promo. There, you'll get to read our interviews with Hale and Renaud, as well as get all the Alabama recruiting and team coverage one could ask for.